One of my favorite things to do is make sawdust, and this is one of my favorite places other than the golf course. And I have lots of tools that will make sawdust. My favorite is probably my scroll saw, which we'll see in a little bit, doing a little bit of scroll work. So other than that, I've got planers and jointers and all kinds of saws. And this is my scroll saw where I spend a great deal of my time, especially at this time of the year, making Christmas ornaments and various things that you'll see later. I'll just turn it on and thread the blade through here if I'm not too nervous. And cut one piece that, turn the light on so I can see with my bad eyes anymore. So that's an example of one piece out. Each one of these pieces I have to do the same thing with. And I'll show you the finished product when we go inside. And this time of the year, I like to do name ornaments. And I started those with my grandkids probably, 20 years ago. And I've got 22 grandkids, so I made an ornament for them with their name on it 20 some years ago. That's what I spend a lot of my time doing this time of the year. One of my favorite things has been over the years, and I'm a patriotic person, so anything that has to do with patriotism, I jump on it. But several years ago, we had a friend through a scroll saw group that made patterns for soldiers who'd lost their life in the Middle East. And I had an opportunity to cut several of those and frame those and send them to the families. And there's two of them that were special to me. One of them was for Chris Gailey. When I was bishop, he was one of my priests. And so he was really special to me, and he lost his life in the Middle East. His parents still live here in Bartlesville. And I was able to cut these of Chris and take to his parents. And I actually got a little piece in the paper that talked about that. So I got with the person that made the patterns, and I sent him a picture of Chris, and he sent me a pattern back for me to cut. And I also have a cousin up in Utah that lost one of his sons in the Middle East, and I was able to do the same thing there and take and present a framed copy to them. So this was something special for me years and years ago. One of my favorite things has been over the years is making toys out of my scrap wood, making cars. I'll put wheels on these, different kinds of cars. And through the years, I'll cut those out through the years and sack them up. And what I've done in the past, it didn't work with COVID, but I would have the youth come over on Mutual Night, and they would help me sand and put wheels on those. And then we'll take a box to charities like Women and Children in Crisis, the Concern Center, Boys and Girls Club, and Salvation Army. We've taken boxes of toys like that to them before, and some of them really appreciated it. I'm not sure Salvation Army did, so I just did that one time with them, but some of the others really appreciated it, and the kids. And I know at Boys and Girls Club, and I don't paint them, I'll just leave them like this, and at the Boys and Girls Club, that gives them time to paint those and have a good time with them. These are all bark edge pieces or natural edge pieces that I like to make. And this is one that I made a while back, and I sell these at craft shows or various places. And Shirley would not let me sell this one. She says, I want this one. And it's made out of a nice piece of pecan, and it is a good piece of wood that fits the wolf really well. So this is one that stays in our house. I have another one down here. Am I still recorded?
Yes.
Okay, I have another one down here that I just finished a couple weeks ago. And this is the one she won't let me sell either. This is one that's made out of a piece of Osage orange, and it is hard. It was really hard to cut. And I love the pheasant. I've made several of these patterns, given them to family members, and sold a few. So this is one that I really like to make. And these do take a lot of cutting. They're a little different than cutting a Christmas ornament. So this is one that stays in the house too, according to her. And this is one of my favorite pieces that I've done, and it means a lot to me. When I spoke at my father-in-law's funeral, I found out from my mother-in-law that this was one of his favorite scriptures. So when I saw a pattern that had Isaiah 40:31, I bought the pattern and I made the piece here. And it was a lot of work, but it was worth it. And I do like that, and that's gotten to be one of my favorite scriptures also. One of the things, I have a lot of time to think when I'm out at the scroll saw, and a lot of good thoughts about service to others and doing things and giving these things, especially the veterans things that I did, and to give the veterans, those that had lost their lives, give the plaques to their parents and loved ones, and to see the tears of gratitude from them, it just really made me feel good. And also the toys that I make, the little cars that I make and give to various organizations, I can tell how appreciative they are of doing those things. So it makes me feel good about what I am doing. Not so sure about some of the things that I sell, but it's still like a couple of them that I've mentioned here that my wife decided she wanted. It made me kind of feel good that she liked some of the things that I do. She doesn't like all of the things that I do, but some of the things she likes. So that makes me feel good also, and probably makes us closer together.